This is Shelby Reed, and this is my individual project for Honors 3350, aka the Stuff Seminar. So, my project talks about incentives and penalties and how that might affect our behavior. So, essentially, I have a 4-week period, and in this 4-week period, I've created a list of certain behaviors that either promote or hurt sustainability in the environment, and the good ones are on the rewarded behavior list and the bad ones are on the penalized behavior list. And each week I will be keeping track of my actions and tallying up how many of them that I do, and I'm assigning dollar amounts to either rewarded behaviors or penalized behaviors, so that by the end of each week I've either gained or lost a certain amount of money based on my behaviors. And each week these monetary amounts are going to increase, but the rewarded behavior will always be 50% dollar amount wise of the penalized ones. And this is just to ensure that whatever money I have lost at the end, I can make a donation to a certain charity. So I'm excited about this. I'm hoping to see real changes. I will be keeping a video diary every week, and you will see that at the end of this video. Basically talking about my thoughts each week, how I think I was influenced, maybe what my roommates' changes were, because my roommates do not know that I'm doing this project or any sort of parameter of the project. So I'm trying to see if maybe my behaviors might rub off on them. My predictions for this project are that I think I'm going to still lose more money at week 4, but I think the number amount of my penalized behaviors will decrease. I think that wavering of money over my head is going to really cause me to think a little bit more about my actions, and that's the point of this project, to think more thoughtfully and more intentionally about our actions and realize the effects of them. So I hope you enjoy my project presentation, and I encourage everyone to engage in something that causes them to think just a little bit harder about their actions. So week 1 of the project is done. I am currently at a loss of $4.25. I had 10 activities that were penalized and 3 activities that were rewarded. The showers have been the hardest to stick to, just because the price now is so low that it's easy to bargain with myself as I'm in the shower and, can be like, oh, it's so warm, I'll stay in, it's just 50 cents. But I have noticed I have gotten more conscious about how much time I'm spending in the shower. I've been setting timers to see if I fall within the time limits that I've set for myself. I've also used a lot less paper towels, which I love. And my roommates have not picked up on a bunch of habits yet, but I'm hoping they will. I have a recycling pile started, had it in the living room. They threw it away because they thought it was trash. So I was hoping to influence them through that, but that didn't work out. So the recycling pile is now in my room. But I'm hoping there will be other activities and other things I do they can pick up on. As far as they know, I'm doing a project and I'm changing some of my behaviors. They do not know what those behaviors are or what they entail. They just know I'm doing a project, and I'm hoping to observe them pick up on the same things. So I'll keep you updated on what happens with that. But as of now, not a huge change. I think as the prices go up, my changes are going to become more drastic as I'm avoiding those charges more and more and more. And I'm hoping that'll help. One of the bigger things I'm wanting to work on is food waste. So I've been trying to work better with meal prepping and things like that, which I do a lot of already, but I'd like to get better at it as far as, making the right amount. That way, when it is panned out, that I don't have extra waste. So I'm hoping to work better on that, and hopefully that'll spread over to my roommates. They use plastic water bottles. I'm hoping to shift them from that. I use a reusable water bottle all the time, so I'm hoping they'll start to do those things too. But as of now, we're only down $4.25. More than I wanted to spend, but not terrible. So we'll continue to track all of this throughout the next week and the next 3 weeks really, and see how much I'll lose then and if it changes my behaviors. But as of now, I'm feeling okay about it. I'm hoping to be a little bit more nudged in the right direction as the money increases. And I think I will, because it's easier to bargain for 50 cents than it is $1, or $10 or whatever. So I'm interested to see how that plays out. And we enter into another week of incentives and penalties. So. Okay, week 2 is done. This week I lost $5.50, which is more than last week, but the costs went up from 50 cents a penalty to $1. So, and then 25 cents rewarded to 50 cent rewarded. So I kind of expected that. Not too upset about it, but definitely want to keep working on decreasing these things. There's definitely, I think, a decrease as far as still doing good on the showers. I'm getting better at that, actually. And I'm also getting way better at my paper towel usage. I think I only got penalized once this week for paper towels. I have a rag in our kitchen now that I've been using to dry my hands most of the time. Then I think in my roommates, we're definitely seeing a decrease in overall waste in our apartment. We usually take out the trash 3 to 4 times a week. This week we only took it out once, maybe twice. And on the second one, I think it was towards the end of the week. I want to say it might have been yesterday or Saturday. So definitely something that we're getting better at. And then as far as paper towels go, less across the board. So I don't know if that means that I was a main contributor for paper towels or if they're picking up on my behaviors, but fingers crossed they're picking up on it. My goal for this week is to try to have a meal with absolutely zero waste. Zero plastic waste, zero food waste, zero anything. And I'm trying to go about planning that to be sure that I can create a meal and do something like that, and to see how hard it would be to be able to do that. So far, the things I've had in mind, I get stopped because of plastic packaging, things like that, or, maybe the proportions wouldn't be right and I don't know that I could save it or things like that. So I'm still working on that and trying to do that right, but I'm hoping to find something a meal that I can go to and make on a regular that is zero waste and could be something that I share with other people, and maybe, they eat it, they like it, so I give my recipe to them and things like that. So I'm working on that this week. I'll continue to do better about the showers and paper towels. Gonna do better about the food waste this week because I did go grocery shopping. And this week, the penalty is $5. We'll see how that goes. I'm kind of nervous, but I'm also really excited. I will be staying home this week, not traveling, so I should see some improvement, but I guess I'll see you next week. So week 3 is done. This week I lost $17.50. Now, might I add that this week the penalty was $5 and the reward was $2.50. So I only really had, I think, $25 worth of penalties, so that's 5 penalties, which I'm okay with. I think what killed me this week is I tried a lot of new recipes with my cooking because I was trying to find that recipe where I could have zero food waste. But the problem is when the food is so bad that it is inedible, I really didn't have much of a choice. And I'll take the heat for that one. But I think food waste was my one. I usually am really good about food waste, but when I try new things and it maybe doesn't turn out how I want to, I try to eat as much as I can, but in this instance, I really couldn't. And it was for recipes, especially new recipes, it's hard to get proportions right sometimes. So sometimes you have extra, and if you don't like it that much, it's harder to save it. I need to be better about that. I need to just save it and eat it and get on with it. But that's really my biggest hurdle this week. As far as my roommates go, they were out of town this weekend, so I didn't really get to monitor if they're picking up on anything. I think they've been cooking a lot more, which is good because I've been trying to cook a lot more. But I don't know if that's just because it's fall and it's colder. They don't want to go out, or if it's because of my project. I'm hoping it's because of my project. But yeah, I think this week was hard. This last week is going to be crazy because the penalties are now $10 each. And that is a struggle bus. So we're going to try. We're going to do our best. I've been better about the showers. I've been relatively better about the paper towels. I did have a spill this week, and the regular cloth towel is not going to cut it. So that's one of my paper towel uses. And I only had 2 this week, so pat on the back to me. But I am relying less on the paper towels, definitely. But yeah, I think it's going better. I think I'm definitely keeping up habits that I normally wouldn't. And it's becoming easier and more routine. Like, immediately after I use a cardboard box, I don't want to throw it away. I want to put it in my little stash under my bed. And, I am not lollygagging in the shower as much. I'm getting in and getting out and things like that. So I'm really happy so far. And for this last week, I'm really hoping that big price jump is going to help. So 1 more week. We got it. So week 4 is done. I only lost $15 this week, which I am pleasantly surprised with. I lost more in week 3, which I lost $17.50, than I did in week 4, which the penalties were double. So you can tell I'm making progress. I had less penalties, but I also did more rewarded behavior, which I think is good too. Because while it's good to stop bad habits and bad behavior, it's also good to counteract that with positive behaviors too. So I'm really happy about that. I'm really content with that. Just some things I've noticed over the course of these 4 weeks. The adaptation thing is 100% real. The showering I thought was going to be my hardest thing to adjust to, and now it's normal. Like, I've been timing my showers, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I felt like I was definitely lollygagging and all that in the shower this time. And I'll look, and it's still way less than what I thought. Like, my perception of what is a long shower now has changed. And, like, I'm super thankful for that, and I'm super happy that that's a good change I've made. Also, with the paper towels, I don't immediately reach for them now like I used to. I have a rag or a few towels and rags I have around the kitchen that I do before that, which I'm super happy with. Food waste, I'm way more eager to take out the Tupperware and save some leftovers now, which I did a lot of meal prepping before, and I did some with that. And during this study, I did try a few new recipes that might have thrown off that stuff, but I'm still happy with the changes I've made. And as far as my roommates go, our waste in general is less. Like, we usually have to take out the trash a lot more often than we do now, which is fantastic. We also are using less paper towels. They're cooking at home more rather than eating out, and eating out is a big source of waste for us. So I'm super happy with how things turned out, and I am 100% now an advocate for the whole adaptation thing. I think if you do something enough, it does become normal, and it's become normal to me in 3 to 4 weeks. Like, just imagine all the other things you could do. All it takes is switching your routine for 3 to 4 weeks. Like, I think it's something that's super doable, and I hope my project can illustrate to people that it doesn't take much time to change the behaviors. You think it takes a lifetime when it really only takes those few weeks of just concentrating, and then it becomes natural.